Sometimes, a change of scenery is all you need. John Calipari is one of the best coaches of this generation, but constant shortcomings at Kentucky had put doubt into some people's minds on whether he still had any juice left in the tank. So he went to Arkansas, trying to revive his success. Now look who has his swagger back. The 10th-seeded Razorbacks are back in the Sweet 16 after a second-round upset of No. 2 St. John's, continuing Calipari's remarkable first season as coach of the Hogs. To be fair, this was the expectation the moment Calipari arrived in Fayetteville. But it didn't look possible when Arkansas was 11-7 with an 0-5 start in conference play. It wasn't crazy to question if this was the right marriage just 18 games in. Turns out, Calipari just needed some time. Arkansas maneuvered through a tough conference slate with a 9-6 finish to the season and played its way into the tournament. Even as a number 10 seed, Arkansas had potential to go on a run. Calipari just needed to overcome his NCAA Tournament demons. He only had one win his past 3 appearances and hadn't been to the Sweet 16 since 2019. Follow the madness. NCAA Men's Tournament bracket, scores, schedules, teams and more. His team fended off Kansas on Thursday, and on Saturday matched the physicality of St. John's in the upset. Calipari told his team this has been as rewarding a year he's had, based on the fact of how far we've come. It's also benefited Calipari, who has gone from looking past his prime to proving he's got plenty left in the tank. Like I said prior to the game, how about we give ourselves a chance to make some magic? Calipari said postgame, let's just go fight like heck, play free and loose, whatever it happens, happens. But let's go see if we can create magic. Magic was made, the Razorbacks are moving on, and they lead the winners and losers from Saturday's second-round slate, Purdue's March success. Give credit where credit is due. Purdue is shedding the March choke artist label with another Sweet 16 appearance following a convincing win over McNeese State. The Boilermakers played with a sense of urgency against the number 12 seed, seizing control early and never letting McNeese sniff the chance of an upset. Trey Kaufman-Renn continued his magnificent play with 22 points and 15 rebounds. Purdue has come a long way from the loss to number 16 seed Fairleigh Dickinson in 2023. It rebounded with the national championship appearance last year, and even though Zach Edey is gone, the Boilermakers are back in the Sweet 16 for the 6th time in 8 seasons. Matt Painter has cemented himself among the best coaches in the sport, and it's almost becoming a lock for Purdue to be in the second weekend. Amir Khan's aura. His team may be out of the tournament, but it's hard to argue anyone had a better weekend than McNeese manager Amir Khan. He's become such a viral sensation that most of the country knew him more than any actual McNeese player. Saturday was another big day as he led his team into the arena and was spotted wearing a warm-up outfit that read, Aura. Khan has secured several nil deals, the first for a team manager, and his stardom has become so big, he's expected to follow Will Wade to NC State. It's not going to be the last time we hear about Khan, and kudos to him for taking advantage of his one shining moment, Texas Tech switching offensive game plan. In the first round, Texas Tech shot an NCAA tournament record 46 three-pointers en route to a 10-point victory over UNC Wilmington. The shoot-at-will method could have been attempted against Drake's tough defense, but the Red Raiders were smart. They knew they had a size advantage, and used every bit of it to beat the upset-minded Bulldogs. Texas Tech was constantly getting near the bucket and Drake had no answer. The number 3 seed scored 50 of its 77 points Saturday in the post, with the Bigs doing most of the damage. Big 12 Player of the Year J.T. Toppin had 25 points, and forward Darian Williams had a game-high 28 points. The Red Raiders were a bad 2 for 14 from three-point land, but Grant McCaslin couldn't care less when his front court feasted. He used the size advantage in the game plan and it resulted in a trip to the Sweet 16 and showed they can win games in multiple ways. BYU remains hot. It might have been the best game of the tournament so far, and Brigham Young emerged victorious in a thrilling 91-89 contest against Wisconsin. The Cougars got 25 points from their star Richie Saunders and fended off a 37-point game from Wisconsin's John Tonya in a game they never trailed. The second-round victory put BYU in the Sweet 16 for the first time since Jimmer Fredette played in 2011 and continues an incredible stretch. The Cougars went on a 9-game win streak to go from a fringe tournament team to a certified single-digit seed and have looked more and more like a team that could make a run to its first Final Four. The offense has scored at least 80 points in 5 of its past 6 buzzer-beating shots. Those magical March moments are still late to the party. No buzzer-beating shots at the end of regulation have been hit yet, having many people wondering if the clutch gene isn't around in this year's tournament. Saturday night had two great games in Houston vs. Gonzaga and Brigham Young vs. Wisconsin, where offense shined. Both games went down to the wire, with Wisconsin and Gonzaga having chances to tie or win the game in the final seconds. The result: John Tonya couldn't hit the jumper to tie the game for the Badgers, and the Zags never got a shot up. Perhaps the shocking moments are being saved for the later rounds, but plenty of people are still waiting. Number 1 seeds don't look invincible. The competition drastically increases in the second round for the top seeds, and Auburn and Houston found out they were going to have to really work to get to the Sweet 16. Creighton had an early lead against Auburn and was within striking distance of the Tigers for the majority of the contest before the top overall seed pulled away late. Houston had a double-digit lead for the majority of the night against Gonzaga, but the Bulldogs made a late run and had a chance to tie it in the final seconds. The Tigers and Cougars emerged victorious, but Saturday's results proved they are beatable. An all number 1 seed Final Four is still possible, but it doesn't feel as certain. It should serve as a warning to Florida and Duke on Sunday, which are coming off blowout wins in the first round. St. John's shooting woes finally bite back. The struggles St. John's had shooting the ball were often ignored, since its defense and physicality were the main reasons the Red Storm had their best season in decades. But Saturday, when the lights shined brightest, the offensive ineffectiveness wound up being their downfall. St. John's shot an abysmal 28% from the field and a horrid 2 for 22 from three-point land in the loss to Arkansas. To add insult to injury, Big East Player of the Year R.J. Lewis Jr. was 3 for 17 and didn't even play in the final 5 minutes. His teammates didn't do any better, with a 2 for 10 finish in those last 5 minutes as Arkansas put the game out of reach. If St. John's was going to continue its magical season, the offense was going to have to improve. A team that ranks 256th in effective field goal percentage wasn't going to do it, and it showed in the second round. Texas A&M chokes away lead. With 13 minutes to go, Texas A&M looked like it was going to run away from Michigan. It extended the lead to 10 points and Wade Taylor IV was starting to cook. Instead, Michigan went into another gear and the Aggies froze. The Wolverines ended the game on a dominant 41-19 run, fueled by Roddy Gale's performance, to get in the Sweet 16. Farrell Payne did all he could for the Aggies with 26 points on 10 for 13 shooting, but his teammates went 17 for 58, 29.3%. Outside of Payne, Texas A&M only made 2 more field goals in the final 13 minutes. The Aggies were so close to their first Sweet 16 under Buzz Williams, but their season ends in the first weekend for the 3rd consecutive season.